Are powerlifting shoes worth it? As you could probably tell, we appreciate powerlifting shoes here at Melbourne Strength Culture, but are they a good fit for your training with your goals? So Olympic lifting shoes are what they're actually called because that's where they originated. However, they have made their way to powerlifting, and for good reason, because they help you in certain positions for powerlifting. So the main thing when we're discussing a lifting shoe is the heel raise. So you'll see here that we have this large blocky heel. The Nike Romaleos, which is this pair, have a slightly larger heel than most traditional Olympic weightlifting shoes. However, they'll range anywhere, they're in inches, anywhere between a flat shoe all the way up to about 3/4 of an inch in a heel raise. And that's the biggest mechanical advantage that we gain from a powerlifting shoe.
I want a Versace bathrobe. Maybe I'm going to start trading 4X. So that's that. Can we start, I don't want to put the guy's face in it, but can we start taking photos like this, down at the gym, in my Louboutins, my loafers. Boys are going to go down and get some McMuffins.
The second feature of a powerlifting shoe is just their general sturdiness. They're very thick soled, they're strong, you can't really twist them, you can't really bend them. They've got these straps that cover your foot that creates a lot more of a stable position for you to utilize your feet and push down into the floor, which is quite important when we think about the loads that are occurring through particularly your squats in a powerlifting competition or powerlifting training. And that's the two main features of a powerlifting shoe which allows us to gain advantage. We have a mechanical advantage from the heel raise, and then we also have this like stability advantage from how stable this shoe is and how stiff and strong it is. Does it actually work?
What, my ass?
Yeah.
I want a mutt though. Oh.
McMuffins?
Yeah.
So what about for your main lifts? Do we require powerlifting shoes for all three of the main lifts? Firstly, deadlifts, no. We do not need powerlifting shoes for your deadlifts. The reason being, we want to be as flat to the ground as possible. Any extra space that we have created away from the floor is more range of motion, more distance traveled, more work done. Over time, that makes a difference to our training and our progress. So no for deadlifts, no powerlifting shoes. For squatting and bench pressing though, we start to see the benefits. Because of the heel raise and that mechanical advantage that we gain, it allows us to move our knee further forward in space. We create what's called dorsiflexion, jargon term, but it allows the knee to move forward more. What does this mean for squatting? It means that we may actually be able to get it slightly deeper for those people that struggle to hit competition depth without a heel raise. It also means that for our bench press, we can actually get our foot further behind us. And in a federation like the IPF, or all of its affiliates across the world, we need to have our feet flat on the ground. So being able to get our foot further behind us and still keep contact on the ground is actually a really beneficial thing, and it might allow us to get a little bit more power out of the ground, a little bit more out of our leg drive. Yeah? It's been a while since we've done one of these like tacky, informative ones. So if you are new to either the channel or Melbourne Strength Culture, make sure you do like, subscribe. We have plenty of this sort of content out there, as well as some fun, engaging vlog style things coming out, 2 videos per week. But what I wanted to let you know is that Charlie, our head powerlifting coach here at Melbourne Strength Culture, has created a resource called the Intro to Powerlifting. I'll get Donnie to put some of the little cool edit things here. But pretty much it's just all of the information that you need or that you will need to get started in powerlifting without having to go and hire a coach. We know that monetary investment for some people starting out is a little bit daunting. So this product, it's pretty cheap. It's only 89 Australian dollars. It will be the first link down below. There's rules and equipment walkthrough. We go through absolutely everything: knee sleeves, wrist wraps, belt, shoes, when to use them, when not to use them. All of the rules of all the 3 main lifts. We also go through technique assessment and sort of the key technical cues that we're looking for the 3 main lifts. We go through a full programming masterclass breaking down all of the principles and variables that you need to progress with your training. And then finally, we have a 12-week powerlifting program. It's semi-customizable. However, Charlie does walk you through how he would build it specifically for a newer lifter. So if you are interested, first link down below. Again, it's only $89. I'd highly recommend checking it out. It's called Intro to Powerlifting.
How do weightlifting shoes help my pec fly?
Pec flies?
More
can't.
They can't?
What you need on the pec flies, you need chock shoes. The chockier the shoes, the better the gains on the things like the pec flies, the preacher curls, the incline press. So as you can see, with the increased dorsiflexion or the increased forward knee travel that we gain from the heel, it allows us to find deeper positions of knee flexion generally, but it also allows us to stay more upright through our torso. And this, when we discuss accessory lifts, is probably the best thing that a heel can do for you, because it allows us to utilize machines like pendulums, belt squats, leg press, hack squats, all of these different machines. It allows us to bias more quad, which allows us to tension more quad, which allows us to grow more quad. And ultimately, when we think about powerlifting, particularly deadlifts and squats, quad development, quad mass, the ability to push force down into the ground is a massive advantage. And the bigger your quads, generally, the bigger your gains are gonna be. So this is probably the biggest advantage that we gain from a powerlifting shoe. A little side tip, if you don't wanna buy a shoe, you can buy one of these like heel wedges. This one's about, I think it was 50 bucks. ATX, I guess just Google it. But these do exactly the same thing. You could think about this as your heel, you'd have your foot on this, and it allows you to travel further forward with your knee, which allows you to load your legs and all those benefits we just discussed. So if you don't plan on powerlifting, but you're wondering if the shoe is worth it in your training, you could also just buy one of these and carry this in your gym bag, I guess, or sign up to a gym that has them. Or ask your gym manager or owner if they would buy one for the gym.
Fuck, that was loud.
That was loud. For your main lifts, it may not actually make you more efficient. You may not require them, but I can guarantee there are going to be accessory movements that where you're using a heel, it's going to make those movements far better in the long run for you and your ability to gain muscle. So if we had to tell you whether or not a powerlifting shoe is worth it, I would say that if it's in your budget and you can afford them, I think it's definitely a worthwhile investment. You'll constantly have uses for it, whether or not it's in your main lifts, but most likely in your accessory movements where you can gain benefit from utilizing a shoe like this. The unfortunate thing is they are quite expensive, but the good thing about that is they're incredibly sturdy. You'll keep these forever. I've actually had these shoes since I was 20 years old. I'm now 29. 9 years, you could probably scrub them up and sell them on the marketplace for $100 still, because people want them. They don't want to spend full price on them because they're incredibly expensive. But if they are on your budget, we do believe that a powerlifting shoe is worth it for you. So